Hey everyone, Switch Dog here. Yesterday, I did my second official game show stream, and I don't know if one of my viewers had even saw it, but when I was doing a stream. But if you had noticed that stream is no longer around, well, there is actually a good reason why I decided to remove that from my channel completely. Well, the truth is, even though I was in the beginning was considering this a success as part of the stream we're going as the questions and all that, but sure there were just a small detail that were my prop that was my fault. I actually had put same questions maybe two or three times in a row. Well, not in a row, but so that was my fault. And yeah, but other thing than that, the stream itself went perfectly well in the beginning. We had Kuvu, Game Guy, Roy, Paul right there, even Crystal showed up and Diana showed up. But then it just all went downhill fast. Nothing in such any bad way. It only thing that's when people were part of my streams, they came and left almost at when they ran at random points. And that is something I can't have in my game show streams at all. Especially if you're a part of the team. Because if I had three members in each team, let's say Malachite, Kuvu, Paul Reiser in one team, Roy, Diana, and Game Guy is one team, that is a problem. I would be if it's suddenly if two other members of the each from the team A leaves. That means one person against three people. And if all those three people leaves and then comes back, they may think that their point is still remains. But the fact is, if the whole team A leaves, their point settings will be reset to zero. That was the same thing as for team B. Their settings were also being reset to zero. And if I had been going through half of those questions, since normally I do 80 questions, and if we had going through, let's say, between 30 or 35 questions, and if one team leaves completely, and if the one team has 30 points and one has 31, but if one team leaves, both teams' points resets completely to zero. And if the one other team came back, the team points doesn't even goes back to what's before. No, it remains zero. But that's not the part of that. I'm trying to explain that I can't tolerate that has been happening. Because if you're part of the team or the game, you have to be focused. And not only you have to be focused, but you have to be committed to the game. I can understand if you have some Wi-Fi connection problems. I know that some of my friends had some Wi-Fi issues before, which is understandable if you do that. But if you want to be part of the stream and that you had a if you want to be part of the stream or at least the game stream and that you later before we start you telling that you won't be able to stay for the whole run, that you have to leave at some point because you're going out with your family or something, then if you are I'm trying to explain that if you're not going to be able to be the whole team the whole time throughout the game, then you shouldn't be part of it. I mean, I'm not saying that if you have something else in mind, something planned, since, like example, if my friend Malachite, his family had this game night sometimes in the weekend, that's understandable. And And I say this is actually a good as a great idea that his family had one night to just play games, which is a great idea. But he knows if he can been able to, he at least tells me that he won't be able to join in the whole game since he will leave at some point. And that is true. And that is something I really much appreciate. At least he will inform me that he won't be able to be in the whole game. But I also really want to mean that others should understand. If you aren't able to be from being there for the whole game, you should not be in part of the game otherwise. I mean, you could still be watching the game as an audience, either the backstage or maybe just watch the game on the stream on your phone or your computer. But otherwise, if you're gonna not be able to be there the whole run, you shouldn't be there. Another part that I also should bring up: if you are part of the game, middle of this game, like my friend Stormy did, he was actually using he was doing his throwing his wrestling doll, or what it was. I don't know if that's a wrestling doll, but he threw that in the room, and he didn't even focus on the game at all for a short time. Because if you're going to do that, the game, if you're showing yourself in a camera or something and you're goofing around with the game, that is not commitment. You're not even committed to focus on the game. Because if you don't, you will feeling your teammates. And I'm not saying this, but this is not only affect your team, but this can also affect the other team. Think of it. Anyone who's part of the team, your teammates are really expecting you to make it your efforts to make it as much points as ever. And that is something I can't tolerate others. Because if you were to start goofing around in the middle of the game, you can't. Another thing is that if you have been asked the question and if you say pass, you can't. You can't say pass on a question. That isn't it's not something you can't do. It has happened before, and I will try to say it now this: you can't say pass on a question. You have to answer. Even if you have wrong or right on that question, but you can't say pass, no matter what it is. And if there's sort of like, and each team, this is something I should mention. If there's each team has 3 members, and I will always point out one team leader in each team, and that the whole team has to discuss which answer they should be choosing from. If each member of each one has their own opinion which answer should be, then they all have to focus and be talking which answer they go for. If they all agreed for one single answer, then they go for it. Because you can't say like if if the team leader has says the answer is A and the second member says B and the other says C, that would be completely impossible to realize, because if they can't even that, because the whole team had agreed on one single answer. So if everyone has their different thinking or their own views, or try to say is, if each member has their own opinion what could be the right answer, then discuss among your team members to see to agree on which option of the answers you will go for. You can only be one. And yeah, that's pretty much that. And I'm really much happy to I'm really just happy to be able to do this the game stream shows, to be happy about it. Because I decided to make these game show streams after I was inspired from my friend Malakai's Super Millionaire games that we do in sometimes in after streams. I was actually inspired from that. And I wanted to give this a try. But after yesterday's stream, it didn't win as much as possible and as I hoped for. Because here's the thing. We went almost like 66 questions. There was 80 questions total, and we went only like to 66. The question 66. And then we stopped. Because most of the team members left. And they came back and left. Which is can be a little bit annoying at some point. Because having two teams and suddenly one team which has a lot of points and the second team has maybe just 1 or 2 points behind, or maybe a four, something like that. And if the both teams just suddenly leave and the point settings be reset to 0, and it's something that you don't probably think, then and since the winning team will be the one that choose what love story or true friend story that I will do for the team. But if one of the teams leaves like that repeatedly, and each time it happens when their point settings being reset to 0, I can't do any particular streams or game streams, and I can't even announce which team will be the winner otherwise. That is another part of the issue that also been a little bit annoying. So every one of my friends who listens right now, if you really want to be part of this game stream show, you really have to be in commitment. You can't goof around in the middle of the game, and you really have to be in a stick around the whole turn, the whole run. But if you can't be through the whole run, at least let me know that, because otherwise I can't have you be there if you can't be there the whole time, because it will only affect your team, and if that repeats, I will not be able to do any more game show streams at all in the future. I was willing to give this. I was really close to just quit doing my game show streams completely. But I'm actually going to give it one last chance. Well, I will actually give it one trial and one more time to see if it actually can work. And for that, everyone, if everyone who's going to be part of the stream or that game show stream, always remember one rule: stay focused. Don't goof around, and you have to be staying the whole run if you had to be part of it. Otherwise, the game stream shows will not be much a success at all. So, so if you really want to be part of the game show streams, you have to be commitment to stay the whole run. Don't goof around. Stay focused. That's all I ask. Because what you don't realize that not only your team, but the opposite team will also be affected by this. Because if one of the teams decide to leave, both teams' points be reset, and if there's something that the team comes back, there's still being 0, and I can't keep doing that. So even if the game stream show is gonna be completely over, that doesn't even gonna affect my normal streams. No. If this next trial or this next try of the game, or the game show stream, if that end up in a failure as well, the same outcome, I won't do any more game show streams at all. But my regular streams will be unaffected. They will remain as normal. I just want to make this video to everyone that also have been part of my streams, or at least my game show streams, to remember all the few rules. Stay focused. Don't goof around. And if you can't be around the whole time, let me know that before we start. Because if you can't, you will let your team down, and that's something that it will affect them both. And that can be a little bit annoying, not to me, but to everyone who's part of this. So I just want to let you everyone know about that. I know my message might be just a little bit annoying. That's all. But it is the truth. So once again, thank you.